All right, my loves, it's about that time for a message. I have been doing the millennial pause so much at the beginning of these videos because I turned my ringer off, and being the Gemini I am, I've not turned it off yet because I keep getting so distracted. So, yeah, I am on the cusp of Gen Z millennial. Maybe that's relevant to this message. Pausing, the Gen Z pausing, was it the Gen Z stare? More like, am I right? Okay, let's get into the message. I'm gonna pull Citadel cards for you. Take what resonates, leave the rest, as always. And let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. I'm probably speaking then, if I'm talking about millennials and Gen Z, you don't have to be, but I could be speaking to more millennials and Gen Z aged people in this reading than I normally would. So that's fun. Hey there, what's up? Welcome. What kind of message wants to come through, Spirit? Thank you. Oh my, I think that's the Queen. I want to say that's going to be the Queen. And it came out upright. Oh, the King. All right. Control, reversal of fortune. And the Assassin, ruthlessness and conviction. This is the King, the sword, shattering. And then the Assassin here with these bones also shattering. So shattering. There's some kind of shattering of an illusion of control here, I'm hearing. So something that once seemed very in your control, that you had kingship, queenship over, right, could feel like it is slipping or it is crumbling in some way right now. Something that seemed really sturdy in your life, that gave you an empire of sorts or a kingdom of sorts, could feel like it is very ruthlessly being taken from you right now. Well, this is a lot. This is a lot to start off with. Something that you feel was meant to be for you. Interesting. I'm hearing multiple things right here. I'm hearing assassination of character. Your character possibly being assassinated by someone, or someone trying to assassinate your character. I'm also hearing I lost it. Okay, let's go with that assassination of your character. Somebody could be assassinating your character, questioning your leadership, questioning your ability to lead your own life, I'm hearing, or to be in control of your own life, or to be in control of something that you have taken leadership or ownership of. So that's for some of you, but then I'm also getting the message that for some of you, this could be that you are just stepping into more of this role in your life. Maybe this is something that has already happened to you. 333 on the timer. 333 talks about groups and communities. Okay, interesting. So maybe a group or a community of some kind took this away from you in the past, assassinated your character, questioned your control, questioned your leadership. And maybe to some degree this affected you genuinely. But you are stepping into a time now where you are ready to reclaim this for yourself. You're ready to be the king or the queen, regardless of gender, right? Like, all of these are just archetypes of your life. You're ready to reclaim leadership of your life, and you're ready to kind of be ruthless about this. You're ready to step forward with conviction. And with the assassin, you know, the assassin is very, can be very cutthroat. So in this card, it talks about how assassins typically, historically, were used to kind of take out the enemy of the king or the queen. But it was done in a way that was very secretive and undercover, so as not to be so like in your face like a warrior might be. So perhaps this is you now moving forward. What I'm getting from that is you are moving forward in your life as the leader, as somebody who takes control, as somebody who doesn't let anyone get in their way. But you don't have to be overt about this. I'm just getting that you almost have this like assassin energy about you. Or if you're ever crossed, or if you ever feel as though something is in the way, this is very Mars and Scorpio as well. You aren't so like in your face about it. It's like you're strategic and you know how to kind of move your way through this with ruthlessness and conviction, but without kind of making a scene, is what I'm getting. It's like you're very precise. This is so opposite from the reading I did earlier today. Or maybe this is you, because this was an energy that group was in. So something's been shattered. Some kind of illusion of control has been shattered. But it's like now I think it's almost like you are taking it back now, but in a different kind of a way. It's like you've learned the lessons that you had to learn in the past. Maybe you learned the lessons of what happens when it's like I'm hearing you've learned the art of war. You've learned the art of war, and you've learned the laws of power in a lot of ways. And you understand the light side of power, and you understand the shadow side of power. And you also understand the psychology of it. You understand the energetics of it. And you're ready now to move forward into a period of your life where it's like you're being given a lot more power, or you are claiming a lot more of your power. And with that comes a lot more responsibility. And part of that responsibility is knowing how to protect yourself, knowing how to not put up with things that you used to put up with, like knowing how to not be so naive, and knowing how and when to recognize danger and illusion. You're more discerning, is what I'm hearing. Interesting. Okay, so let's get further into this. I want to pull some animal cards for you. Actually, no, you know what? We're gonna go to the tarot first, because that's what's right here. Because intuitively I was like, should we go to the tarot? And I was like, no, animal. But then tarot was there, so we're gonna go tarot. You're trusting your intuition more. You're trusting your intuition more. If you're second guessing anything, Spirit wants you to trust your intuition, your instinct. I keep seeing the King of Wands specifically in my mind's eye. Interesting that it's the sword, but I'm seeing the King of Wands. Raw instinctual power. King of Cups just came out reversed. 6 of Wands upright. 7 of Wands reversed. Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Interesting. Okay, so you are celebrating right now. You are either celebrating, or you're very close to celebrating, or meant to put some more attention into celebrating yourself right now for overcoming some kind of very manipulative, emotionally volatile energy that you went through. Confirmation verb wants to come through here. Okay, we're on the right track. So there was some kind of intensely manipulative, I'm getting Scorpio here as well. Confirmation burp. All right. Some kind of like masculine, again, regardless of gender, scorpionic energy that really tried to keep you tied to them, or tied to some kind of situation, or in some kind of lower vibrational space, trapped, manipulated, like manipulating your emotions, manipulating your ability to see clearly as well. But it's an energy that you escaped and you found your way through. Again, like you wouldn't be the king and the assassin here if you hadn't been through this process. This is where you learned. This is where you learned that art of war. This is where you learned this skill of discernment when it comes to your power, and when something in your external manifests as an enemy, quote unquote, you learned how to handle it in some kind of way. And you're meant to be celebrating this pivotal point you're at. I feel you're at a pivotal point here where you have overcome something, you've cleared something, and you're ready for the next step. 7 of Wands reversed tells me you stood your ground for a very long time, but you're at a point here where you don't have to continually fight this energy anymore. Like, this energy you already escaped from, and you can kind of put down the weapons for a minute and celebrate yourself and reflect on this time, and reflect on also how you're moving forward with the Knight of Swords here, because whatever you're moving forward into, it's going to happen quickly. You're going to be charging forward into a new era in your life. You're going to be charging forward with a lot of clarity as well. So if there isn't clarity now, and if you're looking for it, if you're still kind of in a fog from this past cycle, I feel that you might be getting a lot of downloads right now. You might be getting a lot of like also spiritual initiations on the other side in your private time, where you might be having dreams, you might be having meditations, you might be having moments where you just feel called to go within, or to sit on your own or be in solitude, because in these periods, I feel like you're being very celebrated, or you are being prepared, or you are being adorned with some kind of reward spiritually that you're meant to be conscious of, and you're meant to take the time to receive. Yeah, like your ancestors, your guides, the beings who are watching over you and with you, and whoever is on the other side calling you into the next phase of your life wants to really celebrate you and help you to see the next steps as well, because I feel like within the celebration you're going to understand the next steps, because the celebration for overcoming this and for being victorious here, like you're going to be, it's like a crowning ceremony is what I'm getting. You're going to be crowned, or you are being crowned, and in that crowning you're going to understand something about your new role moving forward, about being this king, this ruthless assassin kind of thing, who has these capabilities. You're going to understand what to do with this ability, and why it's come to you in this way. Interesting. Can we go further into that, Spirit? Are you able to tell me anything about where this collective's going in this? What is being celebrated? And, okay, the Magician reverse, Judgment, and the Five of Cups. Okay. Six of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, okay. So you're being redeemed here. You are being the time. Okay, so there was a time in your life where you were unable to create something for some reason. Your ability to create or to manifest was severely limited, severely blocked. It's like all of your focus and your energy was on this battle, or on this like manipulative energy that was siphoning and stealing your energy for a lot of you, I'm getting. And you really had to kind of put your lighthearted, like, you had to really put, like, again, yeah, like your magician, your focus away in the back, or this was stealing a lot of your attention or your time. It was just this like vampiric energy. And now what these ceremonies and these rituals on the other side, or just these moments of celebration for yourself, are supposed to be for, is they're supposed to be returning to you something that you lost during this time, that you're meant to reclaim now so you can move forward. You really went through a lot of grief. You really lost out on a lot of, you may feel like you lost out, I shall say, on a lot of time, a lot of opportunities, a lot of relationships even, because of this. And you may feel really like you've had moments of bitterness and grief over this, but Spirit's saying like that's being returned to you. That time where you weren't able to manifest, like all that manifestation energy is now coming back to you. That's what these moments are for. That's what this celebration's for. Because, okay, yeah, you're moving forward into like calmer waters, onto the next shore. Because what happens here is you can complete a cycle. You know you've escaped this manipulative, like King of Cups reverse. You've escaped this cycle. You're away from it now. You're safe. You're protected. But there can still be this feeling that you're still in it until you go through the cleansing process of these moments to yourself, where you actually have the like embodied realization of how far you've come and like who you are now in relation to that cycle and that group of people, or that person, like whatever it is for you. that place you were. There's something here that's coming through that's very clear about, you have to see very clearly right now where you actually are in relation to this other energy at this point in your life, because I feel like you're not seeing it as clearly as spirit wants you to see it. And this is like this isn't in like a, oh, you need to see it more clearly because you need to do more work. No, you need to see clearly how much work you did and how much you went through, and you need to be proud of yourself, and you need to see clearly like how victorious you are here and how much stronger and more resilient you are. And I don't normally speak like this, but how much like more clear and like vibrant your energy is than this one is, because I feel like it's almost like if you had to battle this energy, and if this energy had power over you at one time, you may have put it on a pedestal of power, and it may have felt like a genuine threat. I feel like Spirit's saying you have to now see like how they are not a threat at all. This energy that you went through, whatever difficulty you went through, is not a threat to you any longer. You have totally conquered it, is what I'm getting. And the only reason you may feel pulled back into this energy time and time again is because it's your own mind remembering and digging up the past, digging up what is already lost and gone. Where you are now, though, and where you're moving is like you have conquered. You are the victor. You are the king. You are the assassin. You assassinated this cycle. You killed it off. You cut the cord. And you're moving forward with so much strength and conviction that it's like you have blown this other energy out of the water, is what I'm getting. They cannot harm you any longer. Definitely. This is a very healing moment for you. This celebration, this victory is, I'm hearing, like an integral part of your healing. Like actually recognizing the victory and actually like being proud of yourself to the point you can feel it embodied. Anything else here, Spirit? Thank you. What else do they need to hear? Queen of Cups. Three of Pentacles, Seven of Swords reversed, Six of Wands again, and the Knight of Swords coming out, and the Ten of Swords reversed. Okay. They all came out in a packet. Death reversed. Okay, yeah. So this is the part of you. I feel like I'm seeing the loop. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing the loop here. Oh, interesting. Okay, this is the loop. So the Queen of Cups is telling, I just gotta chill at my spine. The Queen of Cups, I'm also getting really hot, really warm right now, which I don't normally. Like, there might be a lot of anger still here over this, that it wants to just be resolved and channeled into other things. But anyway, Queen of Cups here tells me this is a very internal loop that you go through, emotional loop. So there's this internal emotional loop where you go through, where this community of people, this group of people, it's like you see through the deception with the Seven of Swords here. You go back and you remember how deceived you were, or you remember how manipulated you were, and it's like you keep digging up and looking into the details, and it's like almost like it's become, what word do I use here? It's like it's become, I wanted to say entertainment almost. It's like it's become, yeah, entertainment. It's become entertaining for you to literally entertain this over and over again in your mind, where it's like you go back and you dig up all the lies, all of the deception, you come up with new theories as to what really was going on. You celebrate yourself. You might get to this point where you realize, yeah, I did win, I got out of this, but then it's like you charge back into something that has already ended and that's over, and almost like hurt yourself again over it. And I'm not even seeing that this is like an external thing where you get pulled back. This is just an internal cycle you go through all the time. And with this Death reverse, it's like the cycle hasn't been able to quite end because of continually entertaining it over and over again. It's very psychic. It's very internal, and it's almost like there's an energy that wants you to keep doing this because, yes, it's entertaining, and it's not necessarily like harmful right now, but if you keep entertaining it, like manifestation, right, there's a chance that you do end up taking an action that pulls you back into something like this. But also that it just kind of takes away from the time you could be using to be creative and moving forward into a new chapter, something a lot more fulfilling. Like, this cycle's very dead and gone, I'm hearing. And maybe the reason you're going over it again and again and again is because, yeah, you've become this king, this assassin, this really fierce warrior spirit. And because there's all this empty space now in front of you, and you're so used to going through this battle, and because you haven't quite celebrated it and realized, like, okay, we've reached this point, like, I've done enough, it's just like you keep thinking there's more to go over or to battle. This is very much like, this is a huge lesson for you in this lifetime here. Like, this is very relevant to your power. This is very relevant to your sense of power, and your sense of power was like, it felt taken from you, it felt stolen from you. So there's this dynamic happening where it's like, you're learning how to settle into understanding that your power is your power. You have power, and it's all good. You're good. You've done the work to get it back. You don't need to keep seeking it out, because that in itself means you still feel disempowered. And the only way you're going to feel truly empowered and able to move forward and create what you want is by directing your focus with discipline and consistency into new focuses, new attention. Confirmation purpose to come through, away from what happened and away from fighting against something. This is so similar to my reading yesterday. Focusing into something that's creative, that has life, planting new seeds. Because you have the power to do this. I'm seeing there may have been, and this is what this energy did to you too. I feel this energy also like tried to convince you that you couldn't do things on your own, and maybe you did rely on this energy a lot for certain things in your life to move forward. This is just a huge, like, I'm getting father wounds as well with the king. Like, you're learning how to wield your masculine and your feminine energies. Well, both of it. It's like this is a big, like, real growing up into, like, your own hero energy here. Like, you're learning how to confidently step forward independently on your own. That's why this is so difficult to overcome, because it's like it's like your inner child is battling, and your inner parent is also battling for control of your path, your life. And you're learning that right now. You're learning how to take control back. So, Spirit, how can they take control back here? How can they really end this cycle and celebrate themselves and move forward with these animal cards here? What guide can come through to really help with this? What guide can really come through to help here? Thank you. I'm really warm. Like, I feel very, very warm in the solar plexus. It's like a lot of heat, a lot of fires being released. Your fire is coming back to you. Something that you felt like was not yours, or you weren't allowed, you didn't have permission. Like, this ability to act and take action. Yeah, this is more masculine energy for me. It's like your masculine firepower, your ability to, like, actually take action and make things happen in your life is coming back to you. Your ability to create your own containment, your own structures, your own way, like literally having autonomy and authority and willpower over yourself, like, is coming back right now, and it feels like a lot. Okay, yeah, gazelle reverse, stingray reverse. Yeah, it's like buffalo reverse. Okay, so this is telling me here there's a lack of, yeah, you still feel anxious. You still feel anxious about something coming back from the past to get you, or you're probably experiencing, depending on how intense this was for you, some level of post-traumatic stress. This happens, right? Like even small things we consider to be small can be traumas, and you went through some kind of trauma here. You're a warrior. Warriors go through trauma. So there's some kind of anxiety here about there's like anxiety about you standing up for yourself. There's anxiety here about you standing strong on your own. It's like you feel like you have to be like hyper vigilant, and because of that, you're unable to just stand tall like the mighty oak tree that you are with that strong backbone and just be. Like you're feeling like you have to defend rather than just be. And the point was, okay, you defended yourself, you got through it, now you're here, just be the strong person you are as a result. And that's hard to say. It's a process of healing. Again, that post-traumatic stress, it doesn't just go away. The buffalo reverse here tells me, yeah, it's like you're feeling maybe ungrounded. You don't feel like you're able to quite ground into the path ahead with peace and with this strength. But it's there. You have it. Like, again, this is just going back to, there's something in these, this is why it's important right now to spend some time in quiet, in solitude, and just allow yourself to receive whatever this is Spirit's wanting to give you in these quiet moments, because there's some kind of realization you're meant to have to help you move forward. There's some kind of energy that's meant to move through you, some kind of processing that's meant to happen, some kind of emotional release, some kind of just energetic like upgrade realization kind of thing in your energetic system that's supposed to happen for you to be able to move forward here. Because something's like really rattling your nervous system, I'm getting, and it keeps triggering it, and it keeps pulling you into this thought loop. Yeah. Keeps pulling you into the thought loop. How do we help here, Spirit? How can I help them with this? Because I get it. I fully get it. Just listen. Just be still. It's hard to say, because our mind, it likes to take the wheel, but really the answer here is to be still. And to kind of force yourself to have moments of stillness, to have moments where you just are, again, in solitude, away from distractions, away from energy that feels threatening. Even, I know it's coming from inside your mind and that it's being created inside your mind, but allowing yourself to observe it. And every time that those thoughts come up, or every time that you feel you want to be going back into the war, back into the fight, realize that part of being an excellent warrior, and part of being a king, part of being a queen, is strategy. And part of strategy is recognizing when it's time to fight, when it's time to stand up, and when it's time to retreat, to regenerate, and when it's time to have an era of peace, and when the fight is over. So this is what you're learning. This is the lesson you're learning. You're learning the path of, okay, I've learned what it is to fight. I've learned what it is to stand up. I've learned what it is to complete something. And now I'm learning what it means to also be in a time of peace. You're learning how to do this so that you can move into the next era of your kingdom, queendom. When I say kingdom, queendom, like this is all you. Yourself, your creativity, where you're going in your life, your ability to direct your life and serve the world. Okay. Are there any closing messages here for this beautiful collective, Spirit? Closing messages from sacred creators. Shift the way to new potential just came out. Okay, shift the way to new potential. What else? Yeah, so shift the way to new potential. Shift your focus. Because really, how do we shift anything in life? First, you have to shift your thoughts and your emotions and your focus. your conscious focus. Shift your focus into what it is that you are wanting to create. And if there are things still appearing in your focal point that are not wanted, allow that to pass through, but don't give it any more energy than it deserves. Don't feed it. Don't feed the thought loops. Don't feed the stories. Don't feed the lines of questioning, etc. Like, really focus into what matters. This is very solar plexus. The solar plexus does rule over our thoughts. It does rule over how we think and how we control our thoughts, how we make decisions. A clear solar plexus is able to very clearly make decisions and is able to very clearly act with a very clear mind and rationale. You're learning this. This is part of this process. Choose who you are becoming. Yeah. So shift the way to new potential and choose who you are becoming. That's exactly it. These are, interestingly, both heart chakra colored green, in flow with money. That's interesting. So shift the way to new potential and choose who you're becoming. You get to decide. You get to decide where you're going and what you're doing. And in flow with money. So for a lot of you, maybe this past cycle was a financial hit to you, or you're anxious about your finances, and that's part of this. And why you keep going back over it is because you feel like maybe that's part of that magician reverse. You weren't able to manifest what you thought you wanted to when it comes to finances or your security, or just something was taken from you that really threw you off balance into that dark water energy. But in flow with money, start focusing, rather than like where you lost it in the past or how you lost it in the past, focus on how you can do it now. And not how you can do it like, oh, XYZ, I could create it this way, but by like being in flow with money is synonymous with being in flow with your creativity. When you get in flow with your creativity and start to really direct energy, I've said this before, but the universe tends to really provide us with the resources that we need and collaborates with us when we take bold action towards something, or when we really truly follow our heart's desires when it comes to what we want to create. Because if we're all really honest with ourselves and we stop kidding ourselves into thinking that we don't know how, really when you look at it, you do, because there's something in your heart, there's something within you that you really want to do. And if you're really honest with yourself, you don't do it because you're afraid, or you don't feel like you have the value, or you don't feel like you have the skill or the knowledge. But realistically, if you were just more confident and a little more bold at just going for it and doing it anyway, you would find that this could possibly open up avenues for you for finances and income. I know that happens for me a lot. I'll be really honest. I often have this battle within myself, struggling with money and struggling with finances. And one thing that I always have to do is just be like, okay, Spirit, I trust you. I trust that as I need finances to continue doing what I'm doing, it will come to me. And I don't know how, I don't know what way exactly, but I'm just going to trust. I'm just going to keep going with what my heart's calling me. I'm not going to shut my energy down. I'm not going to contract. I'm not going to go into fear. I'm going to choose to continue to open and be creative and do what I'm going to do anyway. And sometimes I feel called to even like stopping doing something that's been draining my energy. Sometimes I feel called to just like, okay, that's not serving me anymore. Even if it was something that was financially viable for me in the past. Like, for example, well, you know, there are a lot of examples, but anyway, just something that I didn't feel, and then I'll direct my focus, and it doesn't look like on the surface like I'm gonna be able to make it, and then out of nowhere it's like the money will come, like right at the right time. I'll have some random person I didn't even know reach out to me, being like, hey, your name popped up and this opportunity just came in for this amount, and it's like more than I needed, or just something like that will take place. So this does happen to people, and I've heard so many people talking about this same experience happening in their lives too. So it's an energy, it's a focus, it's a way of moving through things bravely and trusting. It's all about trust, bravery, and allowing yourself to know things are safe now with this gazelle and this stingray. Like, you're safe, you're standing strong. You can just be who you are now and allow yourself to be creative. It's really in your mind. So much of this is in your mind now. You are this ferocious beast. You are the king. You are the authority. So claim that and start moving forward in that way. You don't have to keep fighting. The fight is what's taking your energy. Turn that fight energy and that anger energy, I've said it before, the greatest transmutation in alchemy can be taking that anger and that fight energy and transmuting it into creativity, higher creativity, up into the heart, pushing it into the heart. That's what this green is here. Choose who you're becoming. Shift the way to the new potential. What feels the most expansive? If you actually listen in your heart, if you imagine with your heart in this still place, really try to feel there what comes up, what's inspired there, and follow that. So that's your message. I hope this helped. I love you all so very much. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.